Hello everyone and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Let me see where we left off at. So, looks like we have the Snubitron contract still. I remember now we didn't actually complete that for some reason. I forgot about it and forgot to make sure that we met these conditions. My guess is we were probably going too fast when we were this high up. Test the Juno. No, I'm thinking we don't do that one yet. Juno's a pretty low thrust. Oh, well, that's the jet engine. Activate through staging. We'll get back to that because I gotta launch anyways, and we'll just put us into orbit. We pretty much have a rocket that gets us there anyway. We got 48 science, so let's see what we can research. Fairings, yeah, I'm gonna need that cockpit. Wheels, it's good. Better control surfaces, and general rocketry, yeah. Radial decouplers and smaller fuel tanks, that'll work. What do we got down here? Oh, I don't have enough, but we'll see what else we got here just so I know what I'm going after. Oh, I've already got solar panels, okay. That's manned. Got the man pods in there, better parts. Flight control, it's better fairings, it looks like. RCS ports. Aviation, better flying. General construction, what do we got in here? Okay. Advanced rocketry. Probably will end up going for that one because I see the poodle in there. Or the terrier, I mean. The beagle. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not familiar with some of these parts, even though I've been playing with these mods for a bit now. Let's see, we got 200,000 parts, or money. So let's upgrade that so I don't have to worry about that 30 part count that I hate being limited by. And let's see what we last used for a rocket. And post me here. This is just a sped up version of me building my rocket and just tweaking it to fulfill the contracts that we have. Just adding in some solar panels and swapping out the engine, double checking my staging and my Delta V just so we can get into orbit. Alright. Let's launch and see where we go from here. Of course, we're doing our insertion burn at a nice angle to cut through the atmosphere efficiently. Okay, let's slow down. I remembered this time. So we're still increasing our speed. We're going slower so we stay in the parameters. And there we go. Now we have it. We can throttle back up and continue our burn. Oh no! So I don't know if we're going to get into orbit because of lack of control. But we'll see where we get. We got a parachute on this, so I mean, you know. I don't understand why we have this flipping going on. We're high enough up in the atmosphere to where this shouldn't really be an issue. It's gonna fight me every step of the way. I don't know how I just suddenly regained control like that, but I'll accept it, I guess. And we had extra Delta V, so I'm not incredibly concerned with... Well, I should actually be concerned because we're not out of the atmosphere yet, and this has a very low thrust to weight. And we're not going all that fast either, so yeah, I guess I should be worried. I don't think we're going to actually get to orbit. Should probably remove some of these sciences that I no longer need on this to reduce part count and weight. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna actually get through. Orbital velocity, yeah, I don't even have enough delta V remaining to reach enough escape velocity, so I'll cut my losses here. So this is just a speed up of us dropping through the atmosphere. There wasn't really anything special about it. Wasn't really going fast enough for any heating. Near the end of this, I end up collecting a little bit of science because we successfully splashed into the ocean, but nothing too interesting. We got 34 science, which is not enough to do anything with. Yep, we've splashed into the ocean. I think we did that with the last one. We just splashed down a little too hard. Part testing. I'm not too big on the surveys. I find them to be more annoying than anything else. Can do that one for sure. What's the other contract that I have? Oh, the orbit, right. So I jumped ahead a little bit, and I did some tweaking and ran it through the simulation mod, and it still flipped. So I'm tweaking it here again a little bit more, and basically running it through another simulation. I'm attempting to get it at least to the contract that we have to hit the parameters of that. And you can see it's a simulation. I just put this in here to show you how the simulation mod works. It is costing me in-game funds the longer that this simulation runs. You can see it totaling up above the time. But as you can see, we do hit the parameters of our mission and go to launch the real one. And now we can launch the real one. We'll see if I can do it just as well as I can in simulation. throttling back, because I know we had that issue last time of accelerating too quickly too soon. Still kind of accelerating fast. Alright, we're above 10,000. Let's increase our speed. Start angling down more. I want to try and get at least to a 45, and I also don't want to flip, because we've seen what that does. I should be pretty good on my control authority now. Alright, we hit the altitude marker. Ooh, we're starting to burn up a little bit. Let's slow down, because that's just wasting fuel at that point. So one thing that's nice about the Kerbal Engineer readout as opposed to MechJab is I can see what my current throttle is at, what my current thrust to weight is. Alright. So we've got that. And ditch the fairings. I don't think that was it. I think that was from the test. The game can't differentiate the test apparently. But we just achieved it, so we'll ditch that and start burning right away, because this has a very low thrust to weight and we got a lot of ground to cover. So we'll angle ourselves just above prograde, so we're actually increasing our altitude, giving us more time in space, because I have a feeling we will be doing a pretty reasonable descent, and the less time we spend in the atmosphere, the more efficient our burn can be. So it turns out I actually angled that quite well, which is surprising. I never ended up falling back towards the planet until I was pretty much at the end of my circularization burn. I sped this up for your convenience, and I even went into ×2 time warp in the game to speed it up, because this was a pretty long burn. I had a really low thrust to weight, but I had plenty of time to still get into a circularization burn. And there's orbit. We have 268 meters a second of delta V left. So there we are in orbit. Let's see what we got here. We've entered the orbit achievement. We completed the orbit contract, and we got the contract as well. I'm not sure exactly why there were two of them, but stage recovery letting me know that the lower stage, it broke up. Oh no, that was the stack separator, so it didn't break up. It did what it was supposed to do, and both pieces were unrecoverable. So here I am in orbit. I still got signal to KFC KSC, not KFC. And I don't know why it seems to be cutting through the planet. Realistically, I should not have it, but I am going to take advantage of the fact that it still thinks I do have it, to try and position myself in a way to where when I'm at periapsis, that I will be able to do a retrograde burn. So let me think about this for a second here. It should be, say roughly about there will be, let's see, I'm pointing that way. So going around, yeah, that's programmed. should be retrograde. And we'll do a little bit of time warping to confirm this, and hopefully I can lower my altitude down and try and land close to the KSC. So I was a little off, but as you can see, it's pretty much there. Start burning and lowering the periapsis. Well, we're not going to get close to the KSC, but you know, I do have trajectories mod installed, but I think because my tracking station is low and I can't do any kind of maneuver nodes yet, that it's not showing me the conics for the trajectory. But what I can do now is I'm going to hold on to that stage. It's going to be, I don't know how much weight it's got to it, but it's got some weight to it. I'm actually already back in the atmosphere. And the idea is that I can't maneuver my my plane or my probe right now because I don't have signal. So I'm hoping that the weight from the fuel will pull it so I'm actually entering in a descent properly, and then which I can stage after I bled off a lot of my speed and am not going to be worried about this burning itself up. Okay, so no, it's definitely the other way around. The parachute end is heavier than the fuel end. So we'll just hold our SAS on in hopes that the parachute doesn't burn up. Guess we can also ditch that too. There's no need for it. It's not going to do us any good. And watch it fly away. As we get lower in the atmosphere, because we're going fast enough, we'll be able to see the particle reentry mod on that part. And it's going to look amazing. That's why I have it focused. Keep in mind, this is a slow descent. Like I'm at time 4 acceleration right now. This is very slow ascent into the atmosphere, and we're actually bleeding off a lot of our speed in the upper atmosphere, which is more ideal, which is why I also didn't include a heat shield. As you can see, nothing is overheating yet, even though we're going fast. Oh, particle reentry effect on the other part. As you can see, it trails for quite a while, and it's very stunning. That part is almost 10 kilometers away. No, sorry, I'm sorry, that's not 10, that's 2.7. I don't know how I saw 10 there, but looks like it's actually slowing down quicker than we are. We're catching up to it. That's interesting. It's a horrible way to go through the atmosphere, but I have no control over that. We're going pretty slow now, and I actually don't need the SAS anymore. So this descent just went as normal. You know, at this point we're not really going fast enough for any kind of overheating or G-force limits to be an issue. The most I was concerned about during this was the oceanography actually connecting with the water, so I could get the actual science from it, and without having any control, I really just kind of winged it, and I'm just speeding it up so you don't have to sit through this long descent into the ocean. Alright. could have just collected it there. Well, it's a bust because, like I said, I have no control. It's not moving. I'm trying to move it right now, and it's not doing anything at all. Um, we did get the achievement for returning from orbit. I guess just recover the vessel and move on. So, stupid me, I lost track of time during this recording and recorded way too much footage, which I will continue on the next episode. This is the end of this episode. Thanks for watching.